gentlemen, I am your host, Edward Anderson. So, it's that so I often talk about people from TikTok. I probably should have, and I probably will post their thumbnails of both of them once I'm done with this video. I appreciate y'all for giving, the support as far as the different videos and stuff like that. That is much appreciated. But anyway, and so y'all know who I'm talking about, because one chick is named Dana Dane. She actually from around here in North Carolina. The other one, so she's close to the situation to a certain extent. And the other one is John Cannon. And they're getting a lot of pushback for some of their comments. And Dana is taking up for John Cannon, and they're talking about Charlie Kirk as far as, he's a content creator giving his opinions and stuff like that. And they're talking about how this is a slippery slope and all this. And a lot of brothers are giving, a lot of black men are really going really super hard at John. And John is doing what John does when he really don't have real comebacks, as he's doing ad hominem attacks. When, talking about like, I'm me and you're you. You look malnourished, aka this is a guy that doesn't look like he's got a whole bunch of muscles. Basically, you need to get your weight up and you're broke, which is how you kind of know you're not like on the right. You're not on the right side of stuff. And so I'm gonna give my opinions on that. I may download this video and re-upload it, and then add some of the the back and forth. But obviously this is not even a 24-hour situation. It's like a 20-hour situation. So it's a lot of stuff is moving. So let me say this on the front of, I understand and I agree with the sentiment of it's a slippery slope for content creators. And Dumper actually did a good video talking about this. But content creators making stuff and making content and then you not feeling safe and stuff like that. I understand that sentiment. I respect that sentiment. But I gotta call bullshit on Dana, and I gotta call bullshit on John. And for this reason, although I do understand that sentiment, y'all also made videos, and I may put that in a video I upload if I re-upload this. Y'all made videos talking about how y'all make content for money. And that's in and of itself is nothing wrong with that. Let me say that. But y'all say y'all make content, like the opinions and the takes that y'all make, because you all, both of you all, individual videos, you all were basically going at people, like audience members, that take what you say seriously. And y'all are talking about y'all do this for money, and that's the first and foremost reason y'all do it. That's the fucking problem. The reality is y'all seem to not, you talk about how other people don't understand, but what you don't understand is when people, when it comes to this thing called influence, and y'all got more of it than I do, but even I've gotten heat. People take what the fuck you say very seriously, unless you're doing it under comedic undertones. Which is why people like Corey Holcomb can kind of skate on certain stuff he say. But we're not comedians. And you all are playing with topics, and the Dumper actually did a good job breaking down like 4 types of topics, like politics, relationships, that really get people hella emotional. So I'll share his video, because he actually did a really good video that has my sentiments too, as well as part of celebrating death. Because it's one thing, because really a lot of this had to do with celebrating death, and then there was black dudes that made videos talking about how John Cannon, now it's coming up like him having a white chick, which these are legitimate points. Like these are legitimate points they were bringing up. Like, you got a white wife and you scared of white dudes. You might be scared of white dudes. Because I'm gonna jump around, but the way you talk is you talk as if dealing inside black culture is the same with dealing outside of black culture when it comes to dating. You talk as if race just is a figment of somebody's imagination. You never directly say that, or kind of indirectly imply it, but the way you apply certain arguments is if we're all one race. and that how we deal with each other, race is just not even in how you talk about it. It's almost as if everything is the same on that front, very neutral on that front. And although, you know, you'll agree more than not on a lot of his takes, that's always been a problem with your takes. It's always been that issue, but that's what they were calling him out on. But he wants to reiterate, and she wants to reiterate, that this is about content creators being safe to say whatever bullshit you want to say, and you don't have to worry about shit. We fucking told you all. You all, and I at Anton in this thought motherfuckers wasn't showing their face because motherfuckers was ugly, or motherfuckers were incels. Not understanding, we said these motherfuckers are fucking crazy. Y'all should have caught a fucking clue when people were celebrating Kevin Samuels' death. But y'all thought because it was TikTok and TikTok, I guess y'all thought shit was sweet. People are not fucking playing with you all. SWP has been making videos for damn near 20 years. Well, we'll say 18. Don't know what the fuck he looked like. I've been making videos. I'll show my face from time to time, but I'm not about to just brand myself on this. Not because I don't stand on what I stand on, because people are retarded. And they get in there. I've even had to, although nobody ever says anything crazy in my Discord, I've had to kind of observe, hey, y'all got a lot of anger. Y'all need to chill with that. And even though it's righteous anger, but it's like, you all don't understand how that clouds how you all view shit. And even though a Discord, from what they're saying a lot of shit they saying they can actually say publicly, so it's not crazy. But yes, a Discord is a good place to kind of get this out. But it's like, yo, my thing is, if you really feel that bad about it, not saying you're wrong, I was telling him earlier today, I was like, y'all might want to, you know, create a situation where y'all in the United States 6 months and out of the United States 6 months, because you need to decompress, which is one of the reasons I've always supported, you know, traveling overseas, not just for the hoes, but black men need a decompression chamber. They need a decompression zone for dealing with the microaggression shit like that. Even though I deal with it, but I don't deal with it to the level that some of y'all I know have to deal with it, because you all, you know, they're more intimidated than you are than they are by me. But a lot of people have had this view that people aren't showing their face because they're scared. And we told you all that was not the case. And I've kind of low-key shown my face to prove that's not the case. The reality is, the level of anger that people get, a lot of people need to put the fucking phone down, to be honest with you. The level of anger that people get over shit, especially if the shit is true. If the shit, you know what I find funny? I find that people get more angrier at things that have some semblance of truth to it than they actually do to complete bullshit. I've actually found that to be true. And the reality is, you all get, especially on TikTok, but they do it on YouTube too. Y'all get on this phone, y'all rage bait, gas up. And I'm not saying I disagree with a lot of what people are saying. Like, Dana herself should have realized how serious it was when they just took her mom and just started running her mom through the ringer, even though she had passed away. I felt something. You know, people didn't do. Honestly, people were low key trolling me, but these motherfuckers were celebrating. It was like when you have a whole audience celebrating the death of your, like, that's crazy. That wasn't even something. It didn't even get to that level like what I was dealing with. And you should have knew what time it was then. These women, the anger that these people have, y'all should have got a wake-up call once they started celebrating people's death. Like, people actually believe if they're angry, it's justified. Most people believe if they get anger to the point of hatred, a lot of people are starting to flip a switch where they think the object of my hatred is wrong. Because it can't be that I'm a hateful motherfucker and I deserve to go to hell. See, that can't be it. That can never be it. It always has to be whatever is making me hate them is the problem. And I guess y'all think it's fucking funny, even though some of y'all have gone through shit. That's why I always kind of, even though I understand Mark May did a little couple of goofy shit, if he's really going, when you think about it, going in bitches' DMs and shit, you know, ain't that big of a deal like that, especially if he's on and off with his girlfriend. But like, even when y'all create shit, y'all create beefs for views. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And even if you don't think it's that big of a deal, telling this truth has consequences. And I'm here to tell you, if you're not ready to deal with the consequences, you might want to get your ass off of social media. Now, of course, it's easier said than done because social media is an addiction when it comes to getting that money. And y'all get a lot of more money than I ever got off, that I get off this shit in this niche. So I understand that's easier said than done. That's why I always have a lot of empathy for, like, you know, mediocre tutorial reviews. And I'm not willing to put a jihad as quickly on people when they kind of have to moderate their views a little bit. Because you all, as commenters, you all do not understand, like, we're putting a target on our back. And you got to remember, Andrew Tate, and a lot of people didn't have this kind of empathy for Tate when Tate was, that could have easily been Andrew Tate. Easily Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate has way more notoriety than Charlie Kirk. It's just that Andrew Tate doesn't expose himself to open shit as much. Because Andrew Tate is very aware of that. He's talked about that. He's talked about how he has to clear the whole place when he gets a haircut for an hour because of stuff like this. So he's very aware of stuff like this. But a lot of y'all think shit is sweet. Whether it's conservative, I'm not talking about a particular, I'm talking about everybody of everything. Y'all think shit is sweet. And it's kind of funny because black conservatives, which they are not, but black conservatives don't got to worry about shit because for the most part, black people, it's funny how violent people like to say black people are. Yeah, black people everybody likes to talk shit about black people without really worrying about getting touched up. Versus you piss off a certain demographics like the left and shit, oh shit. You know, people like to pretend. People want to believe that black men are as violent as that dude. And then they want to harbor how nobody did anything. As if, it's like, yo, people are not the police. Like, that's a whole nother story, how people keep talking, nobody did nothing to help that girl. Let me tell you something. You females are not owed community, like this idea that the community is just obligated to protect everybody and put your life at risk. That's not, no, men don't expect that. And women, I don't know why y'all expect that, for real. Like, I really don't. That's a whole nother thing. I can't believe they helped them. So what are you supposed to do? Number one, the damage was already done. Like, what were people supposed to do? But anyway, that's a whole nother story. My point is, going back to his other thing is, people talk about, yeah, nobody should die. Da, da, da. You're basically making a neutral point. I mean, you do better just shutting the fuck up, like, honestly. Especially John, like, just not saying that, yeah, man, nobody should die, you know, because of opinion. No shit, Sherlock. You think because you're saying something that you think, like, question, do you really believe that for the people that actually are about that action, for people that are even 1, 2, or 3 degrees, even the people that are celebrating killing somebody, do you really believe they are going to give a fuck about what the fuck you gotta say? Do you really believe that? Are you really that fucking stupid that you actually believe that? I know you want to believe it, but a lot of y'all do not understand the level of, I've been making the red pill shit. You all do not understand like, and I do this and I don't even get a lot of money out of it. Get money out of it on any level like that. The level of anger and rage. Kevin gave you a fucking clue 4 years ago. And like the level of it, you got people that were traumatized by what Kevin was saying. Because that is how in a bubble they are. Kevin was saying basic shit. basic shit. There was nothing that Kevin said is really not out of the realm of common sense. But because people need to live in a reality, they know they're washed. And so they cope. And anybody that pierces the veil of that bubble, they see that as a mortal enemy and as a threat to their, like, and I've talked about this. Like, I've really, because I understand it. Because I wanted to really understand the dials that, like, really get people there. It's like, if you, it's really, like, I don't think people really understand it. This is just opinions. Motherfucker, this ain't just opinions to people. And just like how people be living, like, people say, well, it's just gangster music. No, people live and die by that shit. Fuck the police, or Straight Outta Compton is a lot of people's Bible. Tupac was a prophet to a lot of people. Thug life was a calling to some people. I don't think y'all really have a healthy respect for that. And I'm not talking about that you should respect it, but you should respect the fact that that shit can affect your ass if you're not careful. And a lot of y'all get on this app, y'all put y'all face, you know, vertical, playing, talking all this shit. Like, I will never forget, man. I would never forget the first time I got 10,000 fucking subscribers. I'm a nobody. I will never forget how, you know, and you know who you are. And kudos to you. It was a great interaction. The guy that recognized me was a teacher. I will never forget. He recognized me off of my voice. The dude, hey, is that Edward? He came up to you like, is that Edward? He said, no, he didn't say, is that Edward? He said, Edward. He was sure, and this is a cool dude. Not a bad, a great dude. Shout out to you. You know who you are. And, like, I was like, oh, shit. Like, because I've been on here, it's never happened. Just off my voice. Understand, I'm not somebody that stands out. I don't stand out. I don't stand out. And that's on purpose. John is like, you know, Dana is not an ugly female. Dana is somebody that somebody would look at, and the way she's built, they would look, oh, because I saw her in the mirror she had in the gym. And her voice stands out more than mine. Because she has that you ain't shit boondock voice. Like, if she's really talking shit, you will feel that shit. Even other women telling you about yourself. Her voice stands out. Like, you can hear it out of a crowd if she gets loud. John's voice doesn't stand out, but John is 6 foot. John is 6 foot. Which doesn't stand out as much as otherwise could. But John, it's like, they got y'all, they can see your face. Oh, I don't think a lot of y'all really understand that, man. Y'all don't think y'all, and to be honest, their takes ain't like Charlie Kirk's takes. Because when you're getting to politics, to me, that's a whole nother level, even in a relationship talk. But because I think politics is a lot worse. Why traditionally, I'm very new, like, why I don't want to make a politics channel. But I don't think y'all really understand. So when you look at people like Myron, like Brandon Tatum, I don't think a lot of y'all understand, man. Especially with Myron, because Myron particularly pisses off the white women. I don't think y'all really, I remember that feeling when I heard, when he's, and we had a conversation. But still, that's the first time that's ever happened. And again, I don't show my face. So I mean, like, you know, just out of the ether, I'm out and about, and I happen to say something. I wasn't even talking particularly loud either. That's what makes that crazy. So I don't think, and like I said, I know I got people to respect what I say, and I'm humbled by that, but I don't think people really have a healthy understanding of how much people impact people or what they say. They don't. I know Charlie Kirk didn't, because he was Charlie Kirk, man. If you really understand what he was saying, like, Charlie Kirk stayed flagrant. I wouldn't put him right up there with Fuentes, but he was right in the orbit. And one dude said it on TikTok and put it at best. Charlie Kirk thought this was a game. And I absolutely believe he thought this was game. Charlie Kirk thought this was game. Charlie Kirk thought this was a game. A lot of these people, you know, and I don't think y'all really understand, especially in this economic situation now where everybody's like feeling it. Yo, a lot of y'all are too brave. I remember I told, and shout out to Shannon Ross, shout out to the Band of Spirit Conclave. But I told, like, y'all thought I was playing when I said I didn't want to see some of y'all. Because real, and Shannon, you know, offer me what he offered me. I'm humbled by that, but I'm dead ass. I'm dead ass. Like dead ass. Cause some people, if I see the wrong people, some of the shit I know y'all done did and said, yeah. And yeah, we could talk about ideals all we want to. We're in a nation full of guns. You can talk about ideals all you want to. Fuck your ideals. People, if people don't give a fuck, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. And guess what? They acting like they might not find this motherfucker. They're saying the person they have in custody, they pretty sure didn't do it. So they might not even find the motherfucker that did it. Trust me, when you call something an assassination, chances are you probably not getting got. You probably not getting found. And that's in Utah where everybody had guns. That's the crazy part about it. And that's a way. So when people talking about, yeah, I don't understand this very gold thing, people get it. Yes, people get it. You just don't get how much of a fuck people don't give. When y'all be saying some shit, and even if I absolutely agree with it and it needs to be said, what it's really starting to sound like is y'all don't really understand what are the cost of what y'all be saying is. It understands y'all don't be getting it. And the difference between you and me is I can already take my shit to Patreon. See, the difference between y'all and me is I can already take my shit to Patreon and build up my people via Patreon and just put my stuff more on Patreon and use YouTube as kind of a marketing platform and do my more crazier stuff on Patreon. Y'all actually need to still be there to get money from AdSense. My main money doesn't come from AdSense. So I can already turn my shit off and it'd be as if I never was here. Y'all can't do that. Not necessarily, because y'all will still want that paper. But yeah, like, oh man, you don't get it. It's about, man, you know, we're content creators. Nobody gives a fuck about that. They really don't. And this is the difference between a lot of red pill people and a lot of purple pill people. Y'all not really about this shit for real. A lot of y'all are here for a bag. A lot of y'all are here for money. If Kevin didn't show there was money in this shit, y'all wouldn't give a fuck about it. And that's facts. That is facts. Y'all wouldn't give a fuck about this shit if Kevin didn't show there was money in it. Truth be told, I'm gonna keep it all the way real. Even though those women said some god awful shit about Dane's mom, let's keep it real. If there was no money in really catering to men or really talking in men's behalf, she wouldn't give a fuck. She would have just got over that and sucked it up. You wouldn't see a lot of these women that say what they say if it wasn't for the money. And so when stuff get real, you start to really see who's really about change and who's really an activist versus who's mainly here for the bag. And like I said, I'm not begrudging nobody. I mean, at the end of the day, this stuff takes time. Y'all should get paid for it. Lord knows I should get more. But that ain't the main reason I do what I do. There's other ways to make money. But, you know, all these people, but yeah, people are not, I don't think y'all really don't understand. People are not playing with y'all. Like, and people get on this phone and talk about, you know, what should happen. But when people are in that kind of emotional state, especially with mob mentality, pound. And I'm not saying I don't empathize with what they're talking about, but at the same time, I also understand, and I got a reminder, you know, my mom had like, a lot of people don't care. They don't. They really don't. When they get in it, like when you saw these people have joy, they still have Kevin, like y'all should have got a wake-up call then. When they got Kevin celebration chats. And they actually don't see nothing wrong with it. These are the same people talking about what black men do, but they out here just bathing in evil. Because that's what you're doing. When you celebrate somebody else's death, you're bathing in evil. And people like that, I don't want no parts of people like that. That's why even with my people, I be like, yo, that anger, y'all better learn to deal with that. Because that ain't... It's funny because people like to make fun of short people and they be assuming short people. Some of y'all motherfuckers, you got some motherfuckers that are over 6 feet that they act like they would be bathing in hate if they were like 5'8" or some shit. It be some of the most basic shit. Man, we should always be upset when somebody is killed. Everybody deserves a life. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's a difference between being upset and you there's a wide spectrum between being upset, because I do believe some stuff is just indifferent. It is what it is. Like when a drug dealer gets killed, I'm not about to shed tears for that. I'm gonna be indifferent, but I'm not also gonna be like, yeah, let's pump on. Yeah, Philip. Yeah. So it's two different things. But because you know, but this thing about, yeah, man, you know, the content creator, yeah, and some people are way more serious about why we're doing this than others. Some of y'all, if a bag wasn't in it, y'all wouldn't be doing it. But y'all like to act like y'all some self-righteous, and the main reason I'm making this video is because they actually did videos addressing that. They actually did videos, both of them did videos talking about this is we making content. Stop asking me about what our takes. We're making content. We're saying it because it's content. And they were literally saying, like, they may say this, they may say that. Like, you can't really like yo, bitch, you and this ain't entertainment. Most people are not looking at what y'all are saying is entertainment. It's really, a lot of people will be like, because you're a black woman or because you're a black dude and you're married, because whatever, you give them cause to believe what they believe because of the attributes you have based on your background or whatever. That's why you think white people listen to like Anthony Brown, Logan, or Brandon Tatum? It's because they're black or black adjacent and they validate their white supremacist views, even if Fuentes had to say that directly to him. That's why. The quiet part out loud, everybody acts like it's not the case. And then people really start believing, no, man, they fuck with me because they fuck with me. No, they fuck with you because the combination of stuff gives you a more organic belief. They believe, you allow them to believe what they generally want to believe. Most people are not free thinkers like that, unfortunately. And these people get what's up, Gail? These people get super emotional. Look at what happened with that stabbing. Anybody who has common sense knows that's a mental health issue. Because truth be told, if black men were really, man, white women know black men ain't fucking with them like that. Because if we were, then trust and believe that would have been dealt with. That would have been. Do you know how many black men would have been on death row for killing white women? Are you fucking serious? And don't get me the fuck y'all and OJ. You know good and goddamn well what I'm talking about. Stop that bullshit. White women will tell you they are way more afraid of white men fucking with them than they are black men. Because they definitely know there will be, look at the response. I want you to understand what that response is. They trying to shut down the city over one white woman. Seriously though. Y'all don't do that over children. Y'all barely do that over girls. Yeah, I saw somebody, this means war. And my thing, I'm gonna start being like, well, then do something then. start calling these motherfuckers bluff. Because they talk about this means war. Well, the left, you know, we got our own issues with the left as African Americans, and you see what happened. You see what happened. So y'all not on the same page like y'all think y'all are. I'm not saying you shouldn't celebrate people. I agree with that. You shouldn't celebrate people dying, but that's different than being upset. And the thing about it is, it's kind of like, again, people are peeping what you say. Just because people don't be saying shit, you know, the thing about John is, John think he'd have had people on his ass. John ain't had people on his ass. Because for the most part, black women give John a pass because a lot of black women want to fuck John. And so they give him a pass and they don't see his wife. I promise you, if you started posting videos of you and your wife and your kids, like on your main platforms for black women to really see, oh yeah, they'll start fucking with you too. They won't give a fuck about what you say, because then they're gonna recontextualize a lot of shit you say when you be jumping on them. And everything you say about black women is gonna be, well, white women are better. That's how they're gonna interpret it. So John think he'd have had people on his ass. John ain't really had people on his ass like that, because they occupy this certain like middle ground. They done had maybe big creators and stuff, but they ain't had like a whole, like, these motherfuckers acting like you hate black people and we're gonna deal with you in kind just because you talking about a fucking matriarchy. A lot of these people take our talking points and they piggyback off of them, but they don't really bleed the shit that they actually took. This is why a lot of the people that kind of are Johnny come latelys, you know, they're Johnny come latelys, they were able to come in and build off of the platform about this conversation that was built off from people that came before them, and then they act like they're just so great. No, you're not. No, you're not. Not like y'all be thinking y'all are, man. Like, for real, for real. And so, yeah, motherfuckers are not playing. I don't think y'all really don't have a healthy respect for the rage that a lot of people are feeling, especially in this economy. And by the way, it's gonna get worse. It's not gonna get better. It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. You know, I just did a video off that female talking about, yeah, you black conservatives, y'all on the chopping block now, blah, 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 blah. And later that day, you saw what that shit looked like. Motherfuckers be running their mouth. That's why, even though I talk a lot of shit, I'm very careful about what I say. Oh, look at these Reagans. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's crime. You know, some people would say, it was probably a black guy that did it. In Utah, black people are not on suicide missions. Black people don't go on suicide missions to go after white people. We may go off and send off missions on some gang shit, but we're not going on send off missions to deal with white people. It just ain't that big of a deal for us. It really ain't. That's why a lot of black women get mad, because we don't go on. So ain't nobody about to go into Utah on some fucking Lone Ranger shit. Yeah, I'm black. I'm about to go into Utah where it's an open, like the gun laws are like some of the most relaxed in the country outside of Texas. And I'm going to go in that flat top desert where even if I'm light skinned, I stand out. Even Xanatos Clutch stands out. And you think that you about to pull that shit and the Mormons are going to let you get out of Salt Lake? Shit. You know, shit. It's probably a black guy. Like, you dumbasses. And that's why terrorism is able to happen in the United States. Y'all be thinking everybody to do something is black, so that you give them more time to get away. Yeah, man, I'm going to do this thing, and they're going to assume black people did it. So that gives me time to escape. Shout out to Xanatos. Yeah, Because it's like, yo, I ain't even need to be threatened by y'all. Most of y'all, they know if you're black in Utah, you are there for a specific reason. You are there with purpose. Because because a lot of us can tell, because to trust and believe, a Negro on a suicide mission, yeah, those Negroes stand out. Those Negroes stand out in their posture. So if you look relatively calm and shit, they're like, yeah, ain't nothing to worry here, because you ain't gonna get out the state. And even if you do get out of Utah, you got other states you got, man. It's not just that whole state is desert. You getting out of that bitch. And contrary to what they be talking about, they know most of the in the hood. So if you're not in the hood, they know that. Trust and believe. There's a reason they don't go to the hood to talk all that shit. They know what Negroes to deal with and which ones not to. They not stupid. They know if they know what the soft targets are, that means they know what the hard targets are. Remember that. If they know where the soft targets are, that means they know where the hard ones are too. But see, people don't like to talk about that. See, people don't. So my main point is, you got people, we're content. And look, they got a right to be worried as content creators, but ain't nobody playing. Like, we've been said that. I remember when Anton came up on this bitch talking about, you need to show your face, cam up. The cooning that Anton doing, people know what you look like. You stand out. Yeah, y'all playing. We told y'all that shit. People will go for your job. Just because they disagree with your opinion, they're going to go for your job. They're going to try to destroy you. I believe John owns his own LLC. They will destroy you just over because they disagree. And that shit was sweet. When it was just the men. They'll bully the women off the internet too. We told y'all. We've been told y'all that shit wasn't sweet. But y'all know the red pill people, they're just this. They just hate women, as if the women are not hateful. As if the women are we're just beating up lambs and shit. We don't even pull the shit that Abba pulled on Sadia Khan. Don't that seem like that was a long time ago? That Sadia Khan shit ain't even 7 days old. That's how fast stuff moves. Well, I mean, ain't nobody. What other races are in Utah, dude? So I mean, people say that they're just chasing snow bunnies, and even that, like, I can't even stand that commentary that black men are not chasing snow bunnies. No way as much as black women are chasing divestors are chasing white dudes and non-black men. Shout out to J-Bay for the $10. All right, y'all, I gotta go. I just want to give my 2 cents on that. Man, TikTok is wild with what people are posting about this shit. It's crazy for real. There is no comparison. But everybody's always comfortable talking about how much black men are chasing snow. Black men are not chasing snow bunnies like that. If anything, black men make themselves available to snow bunnies, and they happen to be at the sexual totem pole where these chicks want them. But dudes are not really, oh yeah, man, I'm snow bunny hunting. Nah, but women do be hunting for. I mean, look at the Summer Walker dude. Look at the Summer Walker situation. Exactly. But anyway, with that being said, y'all appreciate it. Hopefully y'all have a good afternoon. This is Edward signing off. Peace.